Have you ever experienced deja vu? You might think you're experiencing it now if you've been watching these videos because I'm wearing the same top. So I'm doing what we call batching, right? So I am creating several videos at one time because I have things coming up that don't allow me to be in my office, and I want to make sure I have the content to share with you. So, I mean, Simon Cowell wears the same shirt every day, so why can't I, right? So you may think you're having deja vu right now, but you're actually not, okay? What does that have to do with any of this? Let me share. So in the Create Your Victory channel, 365 journal prompts. If you're just joining us, grab a copy on Amazon, dive into whatever day you happen to find the video on. And today we are on page 155. The prompt is, he goes before me. He goes before me. Now, this is biblical. It tells us in the scripture. And we know that the Spirit goes before us. The Spirit is in us. God goes before us. This is what I believe deja vu is, right? So when people say deja vu, they're having deja vu, what it means in that moment is that they feel like they've experienced what's happening right then. They feel like that's already happened to them before. And here's how my brain reconciles this. And I talked to my psychology professor one time about this, and he was like, well, isn't that an interesting take on it? Because here's the thing. If the Spirit is in us, but the Spirit also goes before us, maybe when we're experiencing that deja vu, it's that little blink of a second or millisecond or whatever that's triggered over in like those things collide in our brain. Does that make sense? It probably doesn't make sense. But for me, that's what I think about when I have deja vu. I think, wow, I know the Spirit's gone before me because I just already experienced this, and I'm experiencing it again. Like, I know the Spirit lives in me, the Spirit just experienced it. Now I'm experiencing it. It's a lot. I know it's kind of deep. It's kind of off the rocker maybe a little bit, but that's how I interpret deja vu. Now, if you follow that logic or not, still you should follow the logic that he goes before us because that's biblical, right? You can follow my deja vu logic if you want. Or you can say, you're full of hooey. It doesn't bother me. But know this, he goes before you. He is the Alpha and the Omega. He's the beginning and the end. He goes before us. He's going to make every place we step, he's going to make it righteous for us. Know that he's going before you. You're not going into uncharted territory. I know I talk about going into the unknown when I start talking about my newest release, A Moved Soul. It comes out on June 13th. When I talk about this, June 13th, 2023, when I talk about this book, I talk about like venturing into the unknown. Well, just because it was unknown to me does not mean it was unknown to God. God knew exactly, and you'll see it unfold in the book. He knew exactly what he was doing when he called me to prophetic dance. He knew exactly. And it's absolutely mind-blowing when you see how the Spirit goes before you and is preparing a way and is adding up all the little pieces of your life. In fact, the dedication in this book, I dedicate it to those wondering how all the pieces fit together, because it all came together for me in this book. It absolutely is mind-blowing. I still, when I got the proof copy and I read it, I couldn't believe that this was actually me, that this actually happened. That's actually me on the cover. I could not believe it. There's kind of a joke in my family that I would never be on the cover of a book. And here I am, not only on the cover of a book, but dancing on the cover of a book. Mind-blowing for me. Absolutely mind-blowing. God's up to some good things, and he goes before us. Trust him that you're not walking alone. You're not walking into unknown territory. He's got you. He's been there, and he's going to guide you and provide for you every step of the way, my friend. Until tomorrow.